Hello, this is Rob from Rims Models. This is the third update of the miniart tiran 4. This is the carrying on construction of the lower hull. Just gluing the back bit on. Everything's fitted in properly now, the engine and the transmission and everything's all fitted. Super fit, no problems at all. Okay, this is the actual glacis plate now I'm fitting. Again, no problems with the fit. I've glued no small parts on that yet. I want to glue it all together first and then I'll glue the small parts on, just in case I knock them off while I'm gluing it together. This is the back piece now. Again, I'm using the Revel contactor glue, and then I'll run a bit of extra thin around when it's fitted. As you can see, no problems. It's a really nice kit. Highly recommend it. There's a lot of parts, so you're going to be busy. Now this now I'm gluing on now is the actual top plate now. So all that lovely detail you're going to lose. You can see some of it through the hole, as you can see. So when you take the turret off, you'll actually see quite a bit. So this is the engine cover plate going on now. There's a couple of hatches I'll put on, but I can paint them after. So what I'll do, I'll leave them off for now, and then I'll paint them and fit them when it's all painted. A bit more engine. That's the like where there's photo etch on top of them. And what I've done, I sprayed it black first, so when you put the photo etch on, you won't see grey plastic through it. Okay, this is the front now, where the idler wheel goes. There's two parts, and it's just simply glues in. Now I'm adding the parts now to the front. I've had to drill, those 6 holes are drilled there, and because I'm fitting the dowser blade, some of these parts I've had to fit. But if you don't fit the dowser blade, you don't need to fit them. I'm really enjoying this at the moment. I have glued a lot of parts on there because of that small and fiddly. It's hard to video. Plus the video will be too long. So all I've done, I'm just showing you the bits as I'm going along. Okay, now this is like a pipe now for the light. The light there's two lots of photo etch for the light cover. Okay, we're on the back now, and these are the towing hooks. No problems with the fit. Right, this is one of the side skirts now, and there's a lot of parts to glue on these. What I'll do, I've skipped a few steps. I will skip a few steps in the instructions, and then I'll fit them first, and then I'll fit all the parts on after. So this is the one side fitting. There's this side, there's two parts, because in the middle that's where the exhaust goes, but the other sides it's one length. So I've put them pieces on there just to help get it aligned right. So just make sure you glue it and it's square, as I'm showing you there. Look, now you fit the back piece, and where that gap is where the exhaust goes. And then you've got a mud guard in the front, and then you've got one on the back. Okay. Now I'm doing the other side now. Again, the same principle. Glue it on, make sure it's square, and you can't go wrong then. But miniart have done a fantastic job of this fit. As you can see, I'm fitting now the photo etch grills, and like I said, I painted it black first, and then I'm using the black super glue by Migamo, and it's pretty straightforward. Make sure as well you get the photo etch the right way up. So you fit the two, and then there's a piece of plastic goes in the middle. I've got to paint the back grill black yet before I can fit the etch parts on there. Okay, so that's that done. Now we're starting on the fuel cans that go on the sides. 2 parts. There's, I think, 3. There's 2 on one. 2 on one side, and I think it's 1 on the other side. That's the exhaust I'm fitting. There's a little bit of photo etch to fit, but I'll fit that off camera because it's that small. Okay, so that's the exhaust fitted. Really detailed. That's one of the fuel tanks going on. So that's the 2 there. I don't fit the 1 yet because I've got to put the mudguard on the front. Actually, there's 3 on this side, sorry, and there's I think it's 2 on the other side then. They're only dry fitted. Right, this is one of the fuel cans now that goes on the front. There's 3 altogether. There's 1 on the lower hull, and then there'll be 2 on the turret. And there's a photo etch cradle that it sits in. Just gluing more parts on. There's plenty of photo etch. Everything you're seeing here is built straight out the box. That there was 5 parts, and there's a little part to glue on the side, and it's keyed as well, so you can't get it wrong. And there is 3 little photo etch straps that fit on. I'll also do that off camera as well. So easy. It's like a little box that goes on the side. Even the little storage boxes on the sides, they got little padlocks on. Photo etch padlocks. Superb detail. So that's one of the mud guards going on. Again, make sure you get it lined. In line. And all I do is just dab the glue in the holes, fit it, and then just glue on the joint then. Right, that's one of the support arms there I've just fitted. You couldn't fit them until the mud flap was on. This is one of the storage boxes I'm building, and there's a couple of padlocks on it. That's the door I'm fitting. Which it's just basically gluing parts together. There's nothing hard about it. That's a handle I'm fitting. You don't actually see me fitting the padlocks and that because they are that small. You can just make out in the top right hand corner of the picture of the fuel can. That's the box I'm fitting now. I'll just give you a close up so you can see. There you can just, I don't know if you can make the padlocks out, but they are on there. There's a few tools on as well. Okay, we're starting construction now of the turret. So this is the turret ring. Every part I'm fitting is all the same colour. So I'll fit what I can glued. I'll glue it all on what I can unpainted, and then the bits that are different colours I'll have to paint separate and then fit them. But I'd rather fit them all first, but sometimes you can't because it's hard to paint. So still gluing. This is the seat now I'm gluing on, the backrest of the seat, and it'll only go on one way as well. So all I do is that when it's on in position, I'll just run a bit of extra thin around just to make sure, and then it fits. There's only one way again, there's only one way it'll fit. There's a little tab on the front where I'm showing you here, and there's a hole on the front there, and it'll only go on one way. Okay, and then just run your glue around it. So that I've showed you there's the underneath. Sorry, the inside, sorry. This is the underneath. So there's a few, when you get it off the sprue, there's a few sprue nibs on there you've got to get off, but you've got to be careful because it's really thin plastic, so be careful when you're sanding it down. Bit more detail I'm adding to the turret. There's two parts there, and I'm just gluing the end on. Again, it's keyed, so it'll only go on one way. And again, the same with this end. So that's it. 4 parts there. I probably could have moulded it in one, but that's okay. More turret parts. Everything you're seeing here is all for the turret. That's part of the radio, and it all stacks up nicely. There's plenty of locating pins, so you do get it nice and square. All the time I'm using the tweezers to hold it, so you don't get, the last thing you want is the glue capillarying under your fingers. It leaves an horrible mark on. So where you can, just hold it with the pliers or your tweezers. So this now is the top part of the radio I'm fitting, and this bit now I'm fitting will be the front with all the dials and everything on it. More radio parts. So that piece I've just showed you there, you'll glue that on there, and then there's a little piece that goes on the side. That's one piece. The little piece on the side, that's just moulded as one. So again, I'm using the tweezers to hold it. It's just easy as well to hold. So that's everything for the radio now. So nice and gentle. Don't go mad with the glue. Now this is the more parts being glued on. There's some fitting here. I'm not sure what it is. It's moulded as one. A lot of these parts I haven't got a clue what they are, I'm really sorry. but the fit's great, no problem at all. Now this here now I'm fitting is where the radio goes. Again, you can't go wrong with the fit. And it's all painted the same colour as well, so it's easier to glue it now. More parts. This is the motor for turning the turret. That was a lot of parts, really fiddly. But I don't bother showing it, gluing it together on camera, because it's just too fiddly. Right, now we're starting one of the seats. Really nice, really detailed. I shall brush paint the actual seat. Now the interior of the turret is actually white, so I should do like an off-white. I'll paint it all white first, and then I'll do all the detail painting after. More parts. The amount of parts on this turret, wait till you see the outside. There's even more parts. Beautiful kit. Right, now we're starting on the gun. So there's two parts. Again, the fit's beautiful. And what I'll do, I don't show you on camera, but I'll glue it, let it dry, and then I'll sand it down before I go any further. But a lot of the seam's covered by other parts, so you haven't got to worry too much. But I do anyway. I do sand it down. Right, this bit here is the top of the gun. Now this is a different colour. It's actually, I think it's Tamiya XF62. So I shall paint all that first and then fit it after. It's just easier as well. Really nice fit. More part of the gun barrel. This is the breech, the gun breech. Two parts, and then that's the same colour, so you can glue all that together. So that's where you fit it. So just run your glue around, and then it's keyed. There's like a flat spot on the bottom, and there's a flat spot on the part on the actual breech you fit, so it'll only line up one way. No problems. Just starting to fit more parts on it. Again, these are all the same colour, so you can just fit them. Make sure it's all lined as well, in line. This helps square it up as well when you put this piece in. So I did the two sides first and then fit the top piece, but I used the normal extra thin, so you've got a bit of time to manoeuvre it around. Again, more parts, and there's like a locating pin, so you know you're going to get it in the right place. Right, that's the two sides, and this is the back piece. No, sorry, this is the side, another side. And then this is, again, just put a little bit of glue in the hole. Put your part on, square it up, and then run the glue around the edge. Not here, I'm just making sure it's square. This is the back piece I'm fitting now, sorry. Again, it'll only go on one way. You've got two pins on the one side and one side, so you can only get it on one way. Right, now here, this piece I'm gluing on now is where the actual gun barrel, the gun barrel thing fits. So I've just got to glue one side on, because there's two holes and there's like two pins on it, and when you put them in the hole, don't glue it and it works, it's workable, so you can elevate it and that. Now this now is where some ammo boxes fit. There's 4 altogether that fit on that. I didn't show you it all because there's that many parts. Right, that's the others. That's the loaders, the gun loaders seat I'm fitting there, and that then fits on the bit where the gun barrel glues onto. It glues onto that. I'll show you all that when we get to it. Right, excuse me. Again, that's part of the seat. Bit of piping as well. miniart have crammed every detail into this kit. Really nice. If you've never built a miniart kit before, I'd start off on a basic one first before you try one of these, because there is a lot of detail. But the instructions are clear. You know, they do make it really easy to follow the instructions. It can be a bit intimidating when you see how many steps there are. I think there's about 105 steps to build this one. Now this is the top of the turret now. That's one of the first doors, hatches there. This is it, and this is the other side now. So I'm just gluing small parts. And what I'm going to do, if it's possible, I'm going to leave the turret loose so I can pull it off, so you can see all the detail inside the turret then. Hopefully I can do that. If not, I'll have to just glue it together. There's 2 clear parts, division blocks to fit. So I'll fit them and then mask them off with some Vallejo masking putty. As you can see, where that little hole is, that's where the division port goes. Right, this is the top, this is the outside now you're looking at. And this is where the vision port comes through. And I have them facing forward. You can leave them loose, but I fit them in position, glue them in position. This is the actual top piece I'm fitting now. And there's 2 of these to do, one on this side and one on the other side. Just make sure it's square. Yeah, a bit. Right, this is now the actual main part of the turret. And make sure you get these the right way. There are one slightly bigger than the other, but you can still get it wrong. Okay, and then the other side, just simply, you've got to glue that one in first, because there's like a little overhang on the other one that's got the weld beads on, the weld bead, so that overlaps onto the two then. So perfect fit. So that's it, that's the two bits glued on. I don't fit the doors yet, I can paint them anytime I fit them. Right, we're gluing parts now on the inside of the turret now. Now it's all painted white, this is. Some of the parts are a different colour, but they're that small I should brush paint them when it's painted. Now some of these, when you get to the instructions, they are quite, it's difficult to work out where they actually locate, because you've got that many holes and that where the parts fit. It's hard to make out where they fit. So what I do, I skip forward in the instructions and find a picture of it all together, and you can work out then where they go. Okay, so that's more parts. There's a piece of photo etch there. When I come to paint it, I shall use the Mr. Hobby metal primer, and then I should use that on all the photo etch parts. Now these I'm gluing on here are little racks, and there's a couple of shelves that fit on them. You got two of them to fit, and then they go across. I don't know what these parts are I'm fitting. I'll just keep adding the detail. There you can see. That's not all the parts glued on yet. There are more to glue on. As you can see on the bench there, look, all them have got to be fitted. But just keep looking at the instructions. You can't go wrong. But that's the piece I want to leave loose. This piece I'm showing you now. So when I fit it all together, I can just pull it off, and you can see all the interior of it then. What I wish they'd do, like a clear part, so the top of the turret was clear, so you could see everything then. And all these parts I've got on the bench is not all of them. There are other parts to fit glue in yet. Excuse me. A lot of these are small parts as well. All the parts that are not glued in yet are small. A bit too fiddly to show on the camera. Right, we're on the outside now. That there's a little, like a bracket thing where one of the hatches fit. Again, make sure there's no locating points on this, so make sure you've got it square. Right. These are the lifting hooks I'm putting on. There's 3 of these. There's 2 on the front, 1 on the back. You can only get them one way as well. They're like a triangle shape. So you can't go wrong with the fit of them. More little parts. It's starting to take shape now, the turret is. What I'll do, I'll fit everything now, and then I can decide then if I can leave it loose, great. Oops. Then with the vision ports going in, there's 3 clear parts on this. One's like, the middle one's the periscope, as you can see. And again, I'll mask the what's got to be masked off and then paint it then. So again, and there's a nice bit of cast texture as well on the actual turret. Right, I don't know what part this is, but again, just make sure you get it square. Flick through your instructions just to find out how it fits. This is one of the other cans now, fuel cans that fit on the turret. There's 2, one on each side, and that in your bottom left corner is the actual bracket you glue on that, and that holds the drum, that the fuel can. Then I'll show you all that fitted. Still lots of little parts. That's one of the mountings for the aerials. There's 2 aerials on the back. So I'll just make sure all I'm doing is just turning it around, making sure I got it the right way. That's the other mounting for the other aerial. There you can just make the triangle out for the other lifting hook. That's what I'm fitting now. Okay, so that's that done. Now I've jumped forward quite a lot here, because everything after that is that really small and fine. It's really hard to pick up on the camera, and my hands are in the way and my head gets in the way. So I thought it'd be easier just to paint it. Just to glue it on. Spare tracks. There's 4 little pins on the turret, and then these just slot onto it. So you can only just make sure you got the track the right way up. I haven't glued the actual gun barrel in or nothing yet, because I haven't painted the inside yet. So that'll be my next, after this video, that'll be my next job to do, and I can get the rest of it fitted up then. Okay, there's still lots of parts to glue on the turret yet, and there's still a few little bits of photo etch to glue on the lower hull, but they're only small. This is one of the grab handles. Now what I do here, I've cut the sprue gates off as close as I can, and then I'll leave them on, glue them on, let them dry, and then I'll sand them off in position. This is the actual turret basket that goes on, obviously, on the back of the turret, and you can have this, you can have it opened if you want. I don't, I close it up. There are a few ejector pins in there and they are quite difficult to get out. I think once you've got some stuff in there you won't see them. But I just chose to have it closed up. There's 6 parts on this. This is another little storage box that goes on the side of the turret, and there's 2 little padlocks on this as well. Again, there's 2 parts there, and then there's and then the lid goes on. I'm just making sure it's square. Look. Okay, so there you go. Again, you can have this opened if you want, but I choose to have it closed. There's lots of options you can do on this kit, but I do have all the hatches open, and so you can see a bit of the interior. And then there's the lid that goes on. There you go. And there's a couple of padlocks to put on, which I do off camera. Now this is where it fits. And there's 2 little locating holes on the turret. So just put a little bit of glue in, let the glue set, and then you can run the glue around the edges then. Oops, I was a little bit too quick then. So there you go.